Hi, this is Amy Fong from Everest Group. I am the partner that leads our sourcing and vendor management programs, and I'm excited to be here to talk about Everest Group Engage, our inaugural in-person event that's coming up in just a few weeks. We will be holding that in Dallas on September 30th through October 2nd. I'm extremely excited about this event, so I wanted to talk through some of the reasons for going, some of the things that are going to be highlights in the agenda for me. Engage is meant to bring together sourcing, vendor management, GBS, global services, other professionals, along with our analysts and some of the friends of our firm and a couple of small number of sponsors to really dig deeper into what we call the pragmatic edge. So where is it that you're trying to get your business and your stakeholders, and how do you get there in a pragmatic way? Super excited about the whole theme. I think we've put a lot of thought into this, and as I've said to others, Everest Group's DNA is really engagement. We view ourselves as being highly engaged with our clients. We come from a foundation of research and data-driven decision making, and we try to bring that in a consultative way to the companies that we work with to help them make better decisions or to help their stakeholders make better decisions in some cases, as it is with sourcing teams. So I think Engage is going to be an excellent opportunity. You're going to be able to network with your colleagues. You're going to be able to learn directly from analysts, and you're going to be able to hear from some of the best experts in the world on topics revolving all around global services. So let's talk about the agenda a little bit and some of the topics in the sessions that I am particularly excited about. It was very hard to pick just a couple, and I don't want to play favorites, so I have a long list. So let's start with this one, which is partnerships of value, envisioning the VMO of the future. VMOs, vendor management organizations, and those companies that are running VMO for a lot of suppliers or have very significant supplier relationships, vendor relationships, typically have quite a few processes around them to decide how to manage those providers, to implement the portfolio strategy and operationalize the strategies that they're looking for to realize value from their providers. To better use technology, how to in general do more with less, right? So there's a lot of questions as VMOs are evolving, whether you have a VMO in your organization or whether these are just practices that you do kind of decentralized. I think there's going to be a lot to learn from this session. We have three amazing speakers here that are going to be on a panel that I am speaking to. I know all of these men, they're all great, great backgrounds and personalities. So Rod Ellis, who's from MetLife. We have Wayne Heller, who's from Toyota, and we have Joe from Nationwide. So three different companies. All of them have pedigrees, experience from a variety of different companies, and a lot to bring to this conversation. So we're going to hit on a number of different topics that should be interesting to the audience, and we'll also be opening it up for Q&A. Panels are always fun. Panels are fun for me because you can ask the same question to three different companies or three different leaders, and they all have a very different viewpoint. And the right answer, what you should do in your organization, is probably a fourth point, right? So this is going to be a great one. I can't wait to do it. And then, so the next I want to talk about is breaking through the noise with service provider health checks. Now, we are fortunate that a friend of the firm at Everest Group is Rod Bourgeois, who's a managing partner in Deep Dive Equity Research. Rod has been working in the global services space as an investor for decades. He's got amazing experience. He looks at this from a completely different viewpoint than a sourcing person or a vendor manager might, and even different from a provider, right? The way that your banker looks at your investments or your financial advisor looks at your investments is probably differently than the way that you look at your 401k, right? So learning from that and having that expertise, we're so lucky to have that. Moderating or interviewing him, meeting with him is going to be Ronak Doshi from our banking and financial services practice, and also from our IT services work. Ronak is brilliant, smart guy. Love working with him, a great colleague. what I think they're going to bring to the table in this session is really talking about how to assess the health of your provider relationships and the opportunity and the capabilities of your provider through an investor's lens. So, we look at it from a different view. Rod really comes at it and helps you break down the data and what I call the noise. We're actually going to be introducing a new type of research to our Everest Group members called service provider health checks. That'll be following this with some of the data that we get out of the market that we share with investors, but kind of flipped around to help sourcing people. So I'm very excited about that too. Definitely attend this session. You don't often get to hear an equity investor talk about your category from this angle. So this should be great. Ronik's a great translator as well. So definitely want to encourage people to attend this one. All right. So the next session that I am very excited about brings together two industry leaders that have a great legacy and a ton of experience, that have been friends for a while. So we have a session called Driving Meaningful Transformational Change Through Outsourcing. Ed Hansen is going to be speaking on transformation. Ed has a background as a lawyer, he might say recovering, but a great amount of experience in contracting complex outsourcing deals. Dawn Tura is the president and CEO of SIG, Sourcing Industry Group, also a great friend. I've known Dawn and been involved in SIG for a really long time. They're a great partner of Everest Group. And I asked Dawn, because Dawn and Ed have known each other, of course, for decades as well, asked them to do this session together because they've both seen so much transformational change efforts at different types of companies. A lot of us outsource because we want to drive transformation, and it doesn't always work. And so I positioned this to them as, tell us your lessons learned, right? What would you suggest people do differently? What should they have in mind from the start? So I can't wait to see this dialogue. I watched a little bit as we prepped this, and I think it's going to be an excellent session. So I want to encourage people to show up just to get in the same room as these two and maybe grab a drink with networking after with them. Let's talk about some of the other analyst-driven sessions that we're going to have. Everybody loves to talk about the watermelon effect. And so this is going to be a great session. For those of you not aware of what the watermelon effect is, it's when the scorecard's green, but everything on the inside that your stakeholders tells you is red. Happens a lot in big contracts and big relationships, especially in services, big global outsourcing contracts. So what Shirley and Ricky are going to talk about is really adopting XLAs, experience level agreement, and outcome-based pricing. These are two of my colleagues, partners. Shirley is a partner who works with business process services. Ricky works with pricing assurance. They both have great backgrounds and perspectives from real life client interactions that they can bring to the table. And I think they both have pretty good exposure to both the buy side and the sell side too. So there's a lot of things to watch out for in these. Can't wait to hear how they approach this and their perspectives on how to make these kind of engagements successful. So this wouldn't be a conference if we didn't talk about sustainability. Sustainability is so important. When we look at, how IT enabled and tech enabled businesses are driving sustainability, especially sustainability in IT, a lot of companies tend to jump to, let me look at my product supply chain. But when we look at things like Gen AI and blockchain and how that might be working behind the scenes, there's a lot of sustainability efforts that companies are taking there as well. And so we have two of our top analysts talking about how leaders are taking action here. Ronik Doshi, who is a partner in our information technology services, and Rita Soni, who's a principal analyst for impact sourcing and sustainability, both with a lot of experience here. I really look forward to this one. I think they're going to have some great examples and probably some good discussion with the audience as well. So finally, the pricing masterclass. This is going to be a workshop that happens on the first day of Engage on Monday afternoon. So if you can get in early to catch this, not even that early, just arrive on Monday. This is, again, we're in Dallas, so it's kind of centrally located. It should be easy for most of us to get there. This is our pricing assurance or commercial solutions group. And three of our leaders from there who are brilliant and have a ton of experience working, again, with both buy side and sell side in pricing, deals, and negotiations, understanding the value levers for tech and tech services and BPO for pricing. So they are running a masterclass. Think of it as a hands-on learning experience that you can go to. This is, we offer this to our members of our pricing assurance programs, and that's really it. It's pretty hard to get these guys in a room in person to talk through and answer your questions for a couple hours straight. So super high value, definitely worth getting there on the first day. We've got Achint Arora, Rahul Kahani, and Abhishek Sharma. Again, I can't wait to see this one because I think they're going to definitely bring it to the table. So I hope that you can make it. I want to encourage everyone, besides a lot of these sessions that I've mentioned, we also will have a bunch of networking roundtables, both by topic and by industry. So this is a chance to get to meet people that, birds of a feather, right? People with similar challenges as yourself. We'll have some casual intermingling. It's a wonderful location. It's nice and compact, just us. I am a big fan of events where you can really meet people and have real legitimate, valuable, high value conversations and good hospitality, meaning, it's not burdensome. You're not walking 3 miles in Vegas to get to your sessions. So I expect this to be exactly that. That's how it's been designed. We've got a great team and really excited about the clients who are coming, a great assortment of industries and perspectives. There's going to be something for everyone to learn. And I personally can't wait to shake everyone's hand when they arrive and sit down and have a coffee. So hope to see you on September 30th in Dallas. Thanks, everyone.